want a motion to appoint Mark as our meeting minute taker, I guess.
I move that Mark be appointed as our meeting minute taker henceforth until such time as the clerk deigns to return to duty.
That could be a long time.
Can we get some,
We have
get
a
some
motion, a second.
clarification on which Mark you're talking to, or?
That would be the Mark.
Oh, that guy.
That would be the Mark that's not wearing green and white stripes.
Oh, then I'm good to go.
Okay.
He's going to negotiate for doing this now.
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Congratulations, Mark. You are now the,
Yes, sir.
the
We got
clerk
it.
pro
All
tem.
right.
Would you please call the roll?
Oh,
All
see how
right.
he does.
Trustee Otterson,
Here.
trustee Siddig, trustee Wells. Here.
Crickets.
Trustee Jensen,
Here.
trustee Miller,
Here.
trustee Gus,
Present.
Mayor Hucker,
Here.
and Attorney Ferrillo.
Here.
All right. We have a quorum. If you would rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. First item of business tonight is the public comment on agenda items. This would be the time for anybody, member of the public, that wants to address the board regarding any of the items on our agenda. The second opportunity will come towards the end of our agenda, which will be for any and all comment to the board. So if there's anyone who would wish to address any of the agenda items, now would be the time to come to the podium, and all we ask is you state your name and your case. All right, seeing no one. Once a year, I dread the agenda, and this is that year, that time. We have items A through O on our consent agenda, which I will read and more or less summarize as needed. The consent agenda includes the following items: approval of the village board regular meeting minutes from November 9th. Bills presented for payment in the amount of $483,442.03. The October finance and public safety reports. The October monthly community development report. We have resolution 21, a resolution establishing regular meeting dates of the village board and committees in the Village Beach Park for the calendar year 2024. We have resolution 22, which is a resolution establishing the holiday schedule for the 2024 calendar year in the Village Beach Park. We have ordinance 22, which is ordinance levying sales taxes. Wow, I'm just making stuff up left and right here. Levying taxes for special service area number 6 in the Village of Beach Park. That is the Heatherstone subdivision special service area for lights and pond maintenance. Ordinance 23, which is an ordinance abating and reducing certain taxes heretofore levied to pay debt service on special service area number 7 bonds. And then ordinances 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 are all ordinances levying special tax for all taxable property within special service areas number 9, 10, 11, 12, and 14 for the 2023 tax year. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you. This always throws me, so I always ask. And then item O is an ordinance abating tax heretofore or hereto levied for the year 2023 to pay the principal and interest on 620,000 general obligation refunding bonds, alternative revenue source, series 2020, the Village Beach Park. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
As there, I did that. I didn't ask if there was anything the board would want to consider separately.
Point of interest, the finance committee reviewed all of these annual tax ordinances. And that evening, we had a record attendance, standing room only, first time ever,
Mm-hmm.
because it coincided with the school board's annual levy, which people rightfully take great interest in. And they saw the word tax in our agenda. And
Yeah.
came flocking in. Well, we had a good opportunity to discuss municipal finance and what that really means. And
Yes.
no, we're not taxing you. This is people that voluntarily are being taxed. But
Mm-hmm.
thank you for attending. Please
Yep.
come next time.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's a good point. Before we go to further discussion, I didn't ask if there was anything on the agenda, consent agenda that the board wanted to discuss separately, and I haven't heard anybody say.
Oh, I just have a comment.
Yes.
Just on the community development report. I was really happy to see it said that you began in October systematic inspections of the American Inn to get access to all 41 units. I don't know if it's been a while since we've ever
Yeah.
done that or completely done it. How does that work? Will you be doing it on a monthly basis or a semi-annual or?
We're going at random, so we're not giving them a heads up, just
Oh.
seeing what units are available at the time. We did initially start with scheduling a few to see what was available because we wanted to ensure that we had a decent number to go inside of. But I've instructed as of 2 days ago, the inspectors to fully complete that before the end of this calendar year. So we've got into about 2/3 of the units at this point. Problem is that many of the units are long-term housing, essentially. They're being used more similar to an apartment complex than a typical motel type scenario. So those are the situations where it's a bit more challenging to get in the units.
Mhm.
But effectively, we have the legal authority to do so. And we believe that we should be able to complete that by the end of this month.
So am I hearing that there's more than we anticipated that are long-term?
We've always known that the property has long-term
Some.
residents, yeah, and I don't know that there's anything specific that limits that quantity or time frame. I know there were some nuances way back, but I'm not sure any of those apply at this point.
Okay. Well, glad to see that it's happening regardless.
Okay. Anything else on discussion points? All right. Well, then, I guess we should call the roll, sir.
Trustee Gus.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
All right.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
Trustee Otterson.
Aye.
Motion
Motion
approved.
carries. Thank you. Under Mayor's report, just one item of significance. We lost our neighboring mayor, Mayor Glenn Ryback, passed away a few weeks ago, I guess probably 3 weeks ago now. And just suddenly, he had open heart surgery in September, and some, I'm sure, lingering effects of that, whether it was a blood clot or whatever. But he went quickly and quietly, and so our neighbors are obviously working through that now. I offered any help that the village could offer for that vacancy as far as assistance staff wise or whatever, but they sound like they have it in hand. So just tough time. We've been through it here, and we saw it coming though in this situation with Wadsworth. They sure didn't see that coming. So, all right. Moving on to trustee reports. First up, we've got Finance Committee, Trustee Johnson.
I have sad news to share with you. Our next Finance Committee meeting, which was scheduled for the 19th, will be canceled due to lack of an agenda.
All right.
So I'm sorry to disappoint. Sure we'll have one. That concludes my report.
Especially after the well-attended meeting you had last month.
That's what
We have to
happened.
recover. We need a month to recover.
Just finally got popular and then you're canceled.
All right, then we'll move on to Parks and Recreation. Trustee Gust.
No report tonight, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Next up, Planning, Building, Zoning. Trustee Wells.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have one item for your consideration. We have an ordinance approving an amendment to ordinance 2021-0-7 in relationship to conditional use for permit for a contractor storage yard and caretaker dwelling unit at 12454 West Wadsworth Road. This was addressed at the Planning Commission Zoning Board of Appeals meeting of November the 2nd, 2023. where a public hearing was held regarding the petition from Mr. Padron and his son. They are the owners of 12454 West Wadsworth Road and the manager of Shin's Concrete for an amendment to the existing conditional use permit. They were seeking to extend the time frame for which the required paving, fencing, and landscape improvement excuse me, must be started and completed at the subject property. Similarly, they wanted to amend the material used for paving at the subject property as well as the material, height, placement of the proposed fencing at the subject property. The Planning Commission Zoning Board of Appeals discussed the petition and recommended an approval of a change to the site as well as to provide 12 months from time of permit issuance to complete the pavement and 18 months from time of permit issuance to complete the fence and landscaping. And I would like to entertain this in the form of a motion.
All right, so we have a motion to approve. Do
Second.
we have a second?
Second.
Trustee Addison. Discussion.
I had one question, Mayor.
Yeah.
This is a very comprehensive document, but the change in fencing, I see the new fencing plan. I was unable to identify what changes, are they improving the fence? Are they just changing the fence? What's the nature of the change?
So they changed the location of some fencing, so they added a bit between the garage and the house structure. They also increased the height of the fencing at the front of the property because there's going to be a dog associated with the individual who lives at the house, who's the caretaker, and they want to ensure that the dog doesn't get out. So it's most of the fencing though around the sides and the rear, that has not changed. That it's just effectively the southwest side of the property adjacent to the home and the garage, which had some small amendments to it.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I saw there was a change. I just couldn't identify what it was, whether it was an improvement or no better, no worse. Okay, thank you.
All right. Other discussion? I know there were, the reason this came forward was due to not having completed improvements in the previously stated time frame, and so this is just basically an extension of that schedule. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. And of course, the modifications that were discussed as well. The conditions of the use itself have not
That
changed.
have not changed.
Everything that the Plan Commission heard and we approved previously is the same today.
Exactly.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I'll just say I like the improvements. I like the lot being lit up like it is now and
Mhm.
the pad for storing all the forms and all that stuff back there. It makes it neater with the slab and the driveway improvements that are coming. I think it's a nice, it's a commercial area, so it's a commercial application. I think it's looking good. The lights are nice, a nice touch.
Yeah, they did clean it up very well.
Right. Well, then, I guess if there's nothing else, I'd ask our clerk pro tem to call the roll.
Trustee Miller,
Aye.
Trustee Jensen,
Aye.
Trustee Wells,
Aye.
Trustee Addison,
Aye.
and Trustee Gus.
Motion carries.
Motion passed.
All right.
Mayor,
Yes,
just one thing.
yes.
I also like to recognize and commend our new community development director, Mr. Nimrod Warda.
Yep.
He has done a fantastic job. And I just want to acknowledge it to the rest of the staff, the rest of the board, that he's doing a really good job in tackling some issues that have been longstanding, and we appreciate that.
Yep. He hit the ground running.
Yes, he did.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Anything further?
That concludes my report.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to Public Relations, Intergovernmental Committee, Trustee Miller.
Thank you, Your Honor. For the board's consideration tonight, we have a resolution. And this is a best kind of resolution because we're going to accept money from the state of Illinois for a project. This is a grant agreement between the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity and the Village Beach Park. This action was discussed at the December 6th Intergovernmental Affairs Committee meeting, and it was unanimously recommended to forward to the board. A little background on it, just in summary, the village has received a grant of $185,000 from the state of Illinois for accessibility improvements to the village hall. And this involves us getting an elevator. This is a long-awaited project that may finally hopefully come to fruition soon. The budget impact is $185,000 in revenue. That's what we are accepting from the state of Illinois. We have budgeted ourselves $330,000. We have no recent estimates from what I've been told, but we should be nicely covered. I was also informed that our attorney has looked over this.
Yeah, the grant agreement?
Yes.
Yes.
Voluminous.
Voluminous, I could tell you, it's the typical grant agreement from the state, and they will not change anything.
Okay, even
So
if we
it's-
didn't like it.
Correct. But
Okay.
it is a standard grant agreement. And
Okay,
it provides restrictions, how the money should be used. The work has to be bid out, prevailing wage work, those types of restrictions. There's auditing rights that the state has to determine how the money was used. But it's, we should be careful to follow it,
Mhm.
be familiar with all the requirements, but it is the standard agreement.
Okay, thank you.
46 pages of standard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I struggled to understand why there was a section in there about the HIPAA laws and the private information of who, the elevator or the contractor installing the elevator?
Overly
But-
comprehensive.
Yes, I agree.
All right.
Well, so this is keeping with our 2023-2024 village priority of coordinating with other governmental agencies and applying for grant funding wherever possible. So with all that, I would like to offer a motion to approve resolution for the grant between the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity and the Village of Beach Park.
All right. We have a motion by trustee Miller, second by trustee Gust. Discussion. It's, as we said, a long time coming, so I'm glad to see it's
And,
here.
as far as discussion, I would like to thank the founding fathers, of which you were involved, and others that had the foresight to build an elevator shaft in this building when it was originally built. Didn't have the money to put in the elevator, but they put in the hard part.
The hard part.
And
right.
that is allowing us to do this at a relatively small price compared to what it could be if we had to build a shaft in the middle of the building. So
I'm just glad it was the right size for us.
it's right outside the, it's a closet.
Right where the coat rack is.
Yeah, by the coat rack in the bathrooms. Then upstairs, the same thing behind the bathrooms. There's a closet that will be an elevator soon. So
Oh.
that was a big favor to us today.
Yep. I'd hate to tell you, back then, saving the $65,000 was really important. Unfortunately, today, that $65,000 has blossomed, but it is what it is. So, all
We're
right.
getting some help.
Yes. And we're
True.
getting some help. Yes.
Yeah, so.
All right. Any other discussion? All right. Roll call, please.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
Trustee Yatterson.
Aye.
Trustee Gus. Trustee Miller.
Aye,
Motion carries, Mayor.
Thank you.
and that concludes.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Trustee Siddick is not here. And I'm not aware of any other report from public safety. I see we have our chief and our liaison here from the sheriff's department. Anything exciting in your world, gentlemen?
No.
All right. Thank you for coming.
That's good when there's nothing exciting in here.
All right. Then we shall move on to Public Works Committee. Trustee Otterson.
Speaking of exciting,
Yes.
Jeez.
Highlight of my day.
let's spend some money, shall we? The first item under Public Works would be pay application number 4 for this year's water main project, the connection of our high and low pressure systems along Wadsworth Road. This is not the final pay application. There's still some things remaining, but I would make a motion that we approve payment of pay application number 4 in the amount of $114,135.71 to Campanella and Sons of Wadsworth.
Motion by trustee Otterson, second by trustee Gust. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Who's up next? Trustee Miller.
Aye,
Trustee Jensen.
That to me again?
Yes, sir.
Aye. You're
Trustee
out of
Wells.
sequence,
Yeah,
but that's
he is.
okay.
Sorry, I
Aye.
forgot. Trustee
Keep us
Addison.
on our toes.
Aye.
Trustee Gust.
Just try to
Motion
keep it
approved, Mayor.
interesting.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. The next item, this one is a final pay application number 3 from Campanella and Sons also for our Manor Avenue Road Extension project. The project went really well. This one was completed in time to get the landscaping in and the grass started growing and it's looking good over there. And I can say that the final payment includes a balancing change order of a deduction in contract price of $7,879.16. So we got a good deal, relatively speaking, right? So I will make a motion to approve pay application 3, the final pay application for the Manor Avenue Extension project in the amount of $59,260.08 to Campanella and Sons.
Second.
We have a motion by Addison, second by Miller. Discussion? All right, roll call, please.
We'll skip trustee, no, just joking. Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
Trustee Addison.
Aye.
Trustee Gust. And Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion passed.
All right.
All right, the next 2 items are both related to seasonings or salt in particular that we will be purchasing through the joint purchasing contract. We're going to make 2 separate have 2 separate contracts, one with the state and one with through the county, just so there's 2 sources, just in case something doesn't go well. I'm told I saw the other night at Public Works, we have a lot of salt in the barn already, because thankfully we didn't have to use a lot last year. But we do need to be on the books for purchasing salt this year. So let's see, I will make recommend a resolution authorizing the purchase of up to 600 tons of salt, price of $71.20 a ton. And this is through the State of Illinois Joint Purchasing Contract, and it's through Morton Salt Incorporated.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by trustee Addison, second by trustee Miller. Discussion?
I didn't say that total amount would be $35,600 when we complete that 600
And
ton.
that's in up to,
Yeah.
Up to, correct.
yep, plus or minus 10%.
Right.
Okay. All right, roll call, please.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
Trustee Addison.
Aye.
Trustee Gust. Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Motion carries, Mayor.
Plus or minus 20%. I can read. Yeah, I
Yeah.
knew it was a plus.
Ish.
Something, yeah.
You just say 10-ish.
Ish, yeah.
Peggy can't do that, but we
Up to
can.
10% or more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. All right, thank you. And the next one is a very similar resolution. This is purchasing of up to 840 tons of rock salt through, the contract is also with Morton Salt in Chicago. This is through the Lake County Cooperative Purchasing Program. And if we purchase up to that amount, the budget impact will be $68,745.60. So I will make a motion to approve the aforesaid resolution.
We have a motion by Addison, second by Gust. Discussion? More salt. All right, roll call, please.
Trustee Addison.
Aye.
Trustee Gust. Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
And Trustee Wells.
Aye.
Motion carries, Mayor.
Thank you.
And that completes the Public Works specific report this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. There's nothing to report from the Tax Increment Finance Committee, as the committee has not met. We'll move on to staff reports. Is there anything? Obviously, nothing on the agenda. Anything?
No, sir. None in the Senate. Thank
All
you.
right. We have no old business on the agenda, but we do have a little bit of new business. First up, we've got approval of HMG engineering bills totaling $41,850.01. Do we have a motion to that effect?
Second.
Motion by trustee Gus, second by trustee Miller. Discussion?
Did we go out of order for these?
Yeah.
Is that one listed first?
That's what I have.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the supplemental email with that listing.
That's right. The
yeah.
second thing. I have to,
Okay.
sorry.
Can't vote in.
No, that was,
I can't vote anyways.
well,
So Mark's just causing trouble.
I was trying not to be confused, but I'll just sit over here and
I lost everything. Did we have a motion in a second?
We did, and I
We
was
were
gonna-
discussing it, and then Mark interrupted.
I lost it too.
I lost my
And it's
place.
Thursday. and
Yes.
Do we have the motion? Who motioned?
Is it Thursday?
Miller did?
Yeah.
Motion? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Roll call, please.
Trustee Gus. Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Trustee Wells
Aye.
and Trustee Otterson.
abstain.
All right.
Thank you. Motion carries, Mayor.
All right, second item is a resolution 26, a resolution authorizing an agreement with HMG Engineers for engineering services for North Avenue storm sewer and resurfacing improvements in the amount of $175,080. Do we have a motion to that effect? Motion by trustee Gust,
Second.
second by trustee Miller. And this basically is storm sewer improvements, hopefully that will in part alleviate some of the trouble we've had south of York House Road from North Avenue over to, well, I'd
Up
say-
to.
Yeah, I'd say
Chestnut.
East End, but that's in Waukegan, so I guess I got to say Lake Shore or North Shore, what is it?
Chestnut, right? The,
Well, it's the next one from Chestnut, but anyway, that neighborhood.
that neighborhood.
So this has been a long time coming as well. So it's good to get the engineering started.
And if I could too, Mayor, this is hopefully so we can obtain the grant funding from SMC for this project.
Yes.
This is going to be one of the things we need to get done to try and get that done. So hopefully we'll get the grant as a result.
Good. All right. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
Trustee Otterson.
Abstain.
And Trustee Gust. Motion carries, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Next up, we have citizens wishing to address the board. This would be the time for any and all discussion. So all I'd ask is that you come up to the podium and give us your name and state your case.
Good evening, Amy Onan, and I'm here to just make a general announcement. Zion Benton Public Library has a board opening. We had somebody step down due to relocation, and we would love to have a Beach Park representative. I know there's 3 districts served in Beach Park, but accepting applications up through January 4th, and would like to have it filled by the end of January.
I
So
did see a post on Facebook about that as well. So we may have a couple different people that we can put a bug in their ear and just
strongly
see if anything
encourage.
comes out of
We
it.
need the diversity for the community
Sure.
representation.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello again, Alan Hodgson. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. I actually missed the last meeting, so I think it's been seven weeks since I've been here in front of you. So, but I'm back. Don't worry. A couple of things. I know that obviously I'm still here in regards to the traffic and safety issue that's going on Beach Road, west of Green Bay Road. We're still looking for progress. We're still looking for some of the things that we've talked about, traffic study, a safety meeting, things that we've been talking about for months. I do want to ask the village, I asked the county as well, but it appears that it's not going to be possible due to the time that they run their speed boards. But the county did run the traffic count and speed record back in September. And I'd like to try and do the same thing in January. Like from the 1st to the 24th, the same 24-day span, so that we could have data to compare for an on-season month versus an off-season month, just so we can get an idea of the type of traffic that we're shouldering in Beach Park and paying for that's not even Beach Park traffic. So I don't know who would be the correct person, if it's a public works thing. Or
We'll run that through staff and see if we've got, I don't know how the equipment works as far as temperatures and all the rest, but I
Sure.
see them out there. So I'm sure we could probably set something up just for a baseline like that.
Sure.
It's difficult this time of year though, because of snow plowing and salt.
Sure.
The things are not salt resistant. So
Do we have just a traffic counter, a
No.
box?
I don't think we do.
No, I don't think so. No. And those are.
Well, we have Mark.
Those, those get more complicated. Those have to be monitored. and set up and
6,
everything, too,
7.
So
Sure. I guess what I'm
the
asking
snowplows
is,
don't like those at all.
yeah, no, I'm with you. I guess what I'm asking is I'm trying to create a baseline
Yeah.
by which to do a comparison to say, well, this is the type of traffic we see. Just a reminder for any of those who forgot, we did 24,400 cars in 24 days in September. Versus, I could tell you right
If
now
you have
that-
some days off, we could loan you a clicker.
Yeah, right.
Clicker.
be careful what you wish for. You might get more data than you're looking for. But just to create that comparison, I can tell you now that obviously it's just an estimate, but I bet you we're not even 5% of that. I bet you we're under 100 cars a day. So, but yeah. The other thing I want to kind of just make sure we keep in the back of our minds. Like I say, I've basically been to almost every board meeting since March. I missed a couple. Obviously, I missed the one in November. I was traveling. But we have only about 8 weeks left before the park opens again. Park will open, if it opens the same time this year that it did last year, it'll be the second week in February. So I want to make sure that we are having this safety meeting and talking about this data and becoming a unified front, both as a village and as a community. Because when I leave here, I know that sometimes I come by myself, but I get asked this question by all of the neighbors in the neighborhood, and it's unfortunate because they get frustrated with me when they say, "Well, what's happened? What's the tangible? What progress has been made that you can share with us?" And most of the time, I can't give them anything tangible, and so I just want to make sure that we're still being mindful of that time frame, because I would very much like to have a, like I say, a policy or a plan or something in place before that park opens back up, and it's another year of us getting trampled on over there. So.
I know our staff has been working with their staff and discussing the situation, the alternatives, possible,
When you say their staff, are you referring to the city or the park district? The park district.
Yeah.
So I guess, and like I say, I've reiterated this before. We're Beach Park residents, and our kids live there. Our well-being is there. Our homes are there, and we're looking for the Beach Park board to support the Beach Park residents. And I understand that we have a working relationship to keep with the neighboring communities. I get that, but at the end of the day, we need you guys to stand up for us. So
Understood. And my reason for bringing that up is that we had put some thoughts together and on possible solutions and alternatives for traffic, and wanted to get them into their hands and get feedback. It's just happened yesterday.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah. So as I don't have a lot to report back on that, but it did.
Sure.
There's still some things in the background that we're pushing, but the solutions that you're talking about, the realities of the ingress egress for that park are Beach Road, and until they say, well, yeah, we're willing to spend $1 to $5 million, whatever it might be, to do something different, then our tactics will be based off of the traffic and what measures we can take during those peak times to try to make it more tolerable. We're not going to be able to say, Beach Road is closed. We're not going to be able to say, use another street. There isn't one. And until at such time as they have funding or something to do something different for their entrance, that's going to be working around the existing situation, which I know is what you're dealing with right now. So
yeah, I understand the position. I do want to just make sure it stays noted, though, that they do have an alternate entrance. It's on Green Bay Road. It's IDOT approved. And it's just about a matter of money, like you say, for them to be able to put that through. But
I understand that. But what I'm saying is the reality is until such time as they voluntarily choose to spend the money to do something different than what they have right now, we're in no position to force them to spend that money, as they are in no position to force us to spend money. So that's why we're working through staff, through channels, to try to see if there's any movement there. And then we'll go to
sure.
Once we've exhausted those, then we've done our part as far as, working with them, and then we'll go back to more of a defensive position if we have to. But
Understood.
Yeah.
I'm and like I say, I have some ideas too, and it's probably not prudent to bring them up while standing up here, but it's something that I am looking forward to that meeting so that we can talk about those things.
Understood.
So, but as always, like I say, I appreciate the time.
Sure.
thank you for hearing me out. And I guess I'll continue to see you guys in the new year.
Yep,
It's the last meeting of the year,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, we don't have a meeting at the end of this month, so,
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
all right, Alan. Anyone else wish to address the board? Carrie? No? Just waiting to see
We
if
don't want to
you're,
know what she's thinking.
just wondering if she's paying attention. All right, we have no cause tonight for an executive session, so
It'd be my pleasure to offer a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I was so looking forward to that. Do we have a second to that motion?
So moved.
All right, we have a second. Any discussion on that? All in favor?
Merry
Opposed?
Christmas.
Merry Christmas to all.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Got it all?
I just go around and cycle it. That's fun.
Larry, thanks for the